What's up, y'all? Welcome back. We're here at another edition of the General's Report. We have Mustapha Heron here from Sacred Heart High School in Waterbury, as well as John Riddick from Waterbury. He's also a member of the Sacred Heart High School team. We're going to get to know them and a few more of their players. We're going to get to see their workouts, some of their games, and just some of the growth that they have taken from over the last 2 years. So hope you guys enjoy it. Hopefully it'll be just as good as the Weaver High School team interview, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, thanks. All right, what's up, y'all? We're back here at the General's Report. As I said, we have John Riddick over here, Mustapha Heron of the Sacred Heart team. We're gonna start off with you, John, or JT as they call you, right?
Yes.
Just a curious question. Why do they call you JT?
Because my middle name is Thomas. I'm John Thomas Riddick. So, yeah, that's where you get JT from.
Okay. Does that make sense to you?
It does. I mean, it comes together.
Okay. That's good. Glad to hear it. So how do you think that the season came together last year, being that you guys turned your season around from the previous year? I believe Sacred Heart might have won.
It was like we only had like three wins,
Mm-hmm.
and we turned it around pretty big. I mean, once, we had staff with us, we just changed. I mean, we all came together as one, and we played together well.
All right, so being that you guys, like I said, had some transfers coming in, Mustapha came in, Charles Fisher transferred in from St. Joe's. How were you guys able to turn the season around so fast? Let me finish. Being that Mustapha came in basically the week before the season started, and Charles really didn't get to play with you guys in the off season leading into the season.
Well, we've been playing together in basketball since we were younger, and we just knew how each other play as far as on the court. And we could, yeah.
So when you mean you guys play together, we meaning who?
As in, like,
What
me,
members?
Malik, Staff, Charles, and Isaiah. Yeah.
Those guys? Okay. All right, so being that you guys, like you, Mustapha, you came in basically 2 days before the season started, and Charles Fisher came in the beginning of the season, the beginning of the school year. What do you think made you guys be able to click right in to be able to have a successful season?
We played together when we were younger, me, JT, Charles, Malik, a couple other guys. We've been playing together a long time, so we all know each other's, ins and outs of each other's game.
Mm-hmm. Now, being that you came from prep school and stuff like that, and you were already kind of playing a few games, what was the difference for you, being that you transitioned from playing, guys that might be already graduated high school to coming back playing against freshmen, sophomore, junior, regular junior high school kids?
The biggest difference is probably the strength level. When you're playing in prep school, like you say, you're playing against guys. So most of them already graduated high school, so they're 19, almost 20 years old. A lot of them are stronger. The physicality of the game is, it's a huge difference. Then the mental aspect of the game, just being able to stay consistent night in and night out. Because we played almost 40 games my freshman year, so just being able to stay healthy, keep your mental together and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, being that, like as we said, you played in prep school, what are some of the things that off the game that were different than what you were doing last year with the Sacred Heart team?
Being able to work out as a team with the coach is probably the biggest difference. The coaches are allowed to be in the gym working out, every day as much as often as you want. Local high school, you're not allowed to do that. Coach is not allowed to be around working out the team. That's probably the biggest difference.
All right, so being that you came in, like I said, late season, 2-3 months into the school year already happening, and those guys kind of already had their team from last year. What were some of the roadblocks that you think you guys had in the beginning of the year?
I think some of the roadblocks might have been, even though we had played with each other, we all had grown and developed into our own, type of players and, how we play. So I think that might have sometimes conflicted, but we were always able to get through it. Just because we bring it back to what we were used to doing.
As the middle school team.
Yeah, as a middle school team.
Okay. Now, being that you came in with a lot of fanfare and a lot of hype, how were you able to? What was your feeling when you started seeing your gym go from? Because in prep school you play in front of 30 people and a dog. But how did you start feeling when you started going to the gym and it's 1,000 people already in there? Before you guys even get in the warm up line.
I mean, it feels great to see that all those people are coming out to see us. Wanting us to put on a show. So.
So what about for you? What about for you, JT? Being that you were already there at Sacred Heart before Mustapha and Charles transferred in. How did it feel for you coming out the second game and seeing 90% growth in the attendance for your games and stuff?
It was a big change. Like just the entire environment. Like everyone was just looking at us. It wasn't just like 2 or 3 people there just to see like what we can do. And, yeah.
Being that you guys, your first game was at Willen High School, I know for you, being that you played in prep school, you weren't, the fans and the crowd wasn't a big deal for you because nobody really came to your games. When did you start to see that the people were coming out to watch Sacred Heart basketball?
I think the Crosby game, which was our first match with Crosby, which was the 3rd game of the season, Sacred Heart gym, it was standing room only. They had to bring fans out because it was so hot in there, just so many people, tight together. So that was when I really noticed, like, wow, it's going to be a lot of people coming to see us play.
Mm-hmm. What about you, JT? Because like I said, you were already there. What was the difference of the Crosby game last year to the Crosby game the year before Mustapha and Charles arrived?
Well, it was like everyone was there just to be there because they knew that Crosby was going to win the game. But then, like, when Mustapha and Charles came in, then it was everything changed. Like, everyone was there to see us. It wasn't just to see Crosby because they knew it was going to be a good battle.
Oh, okay. So for you, last year, the guys, you really didn't get as much playing time as you probably should have, right?
No,
So what do you think that you had to do from last year's season to now to be able to earn yourself some time on the floor?
Well, I had to get stronger. I had to get a lot stronger because I used to always get bullied on the court, and ever since I was training with my father, I gained a lot of strength, and that's what I need to do this year.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good that you say your father. You work out with your father and stuff like that because there's a lot of kids out here whose fathers probably are not involved.
Yeah.
So how has your father's involvement in your life impacted you and your growth in basketball and in school and everything?
It was a big impact actually. It helped me out as far as I was going through a hard time as far as school, and
strength. He helped you with your building your body up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Does he keep you involved with taking you to work out and,
Yes,
and games and AAU, making sure you got Gatorade?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So how do you feel to be able to know you can look up and my dad's going to be there watching, or my little brother or sister? How does that make you feel?
Well, you don't see a lot of kids that can do that.
How does that make you feel or motivate you, when you're out there in the court?
It motivates me a lot because my brother and sister, they're always out there and cheering, and it helps.
Okay. All right. So for you, Mustapha, I know you were away and you were playing games in Maine and New Hampshire and stuff like that in Jersey. So you probably didn't get a lot of family support and stuff like that. So how has that impacted you with being able to come back and know you got, mom, dad, grandma, and everybody up in the crowd?
Oh, it's great knowing that your family's up there supporting you along with, everybody else that's in the crowd, looking at the crowd. You see a bunch of people, they're supporting you. It's a good feeling.
Okay. So being that we went to the state championship and I had the luxury of sitting on the court floor and videotaping the games, I also felt it was good to see a lot of parents, at the game and stuff like that and family. But for you, what were you able to identify your parents in the crowd or in your family, or you were focused on the other 1,000 or 2,000 people that were there?
Actually, I was focused on the game itself. I tried to zone out all the people that were screaming, but no, I couldn't figure out where my parents were. Just too many people.
So how was that experience for you? Like just being able to go to the casino and play and stuff like that?
Well, it's rare. It's a rare chance for anyone to really go to a big casino and play basketball for where we were playing at.
So what about for you, Mustapha? I know you've played in a lot of big AAU games, and you played this year in the Under Armour Elite 24 game. But, what was the difference of the casino game and some of those other games that you might have played in?
I think the biggest difference is a structured setting, and then what you're competing for. In Elite 24 is something, you just go out, it's the best players in the country, you go out and have fun. But in a state championship game, you're competing for a state championship. So it's just a difference in, what you're competing for.
Okay. So, being that you guys were there and you had a chance to actually win the state championship, what was that feeling like when you knew that, okay, we're about to win in the next minute, we're going to be crowned state champs? How was you feeling then?
I felt like it was right there. Like the timer was going out, and we were all getting riled up. It was ready for the
mad dash on the court.
Yeah.
Did you hug JT? I mean, did you hug Malik or? Yeah.
No.
So being that you were there and all the hype was on what you were going to do and how you were going to perform and for the state championship game, a lot of people had said that you were overhyped because it didn't seem like you really performed in that game besides the dunk at the end. What would you have to say to something like that?
I didn't have my best game. Definitely didn't have my best game, but my teammates definitely, they came through, pulled through, especially Isaiah. I think he had about 15 points, and he had a couple baskets down the stretch. So I think, as a collective unit, we had a great game together. I didn't play my best game, but, most important things were that we won, and then, everybody else played hard.
Okay. So for you, JT, what was your highlight of the year for you for the Sacred Heart year, other than winning the state championship? What was the?
I would say Naugatuck, when I think it was like the fourth quarter when I got this two-hand dunk. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
You thought you was?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to describe yourself to to a college coach, what would you be able to say about yourself? Like, this is who I am.
That I'm a.
First of all, you're a 6.
I'm a 6'10" kid that's really athletic for my size, and you don't really find many kids my size that are really athletic.
Okay.
Or that has body control.
And going forward, because I'm gonna let you go, because I know you got to go eat some chips and stuff.
Yeah.
But going forward, for this year, being that you have another addition with Raheem Solomon, and you have some other guys stepping up that's been playing. You guys have been playing a little bit more as a unit throughout the summer with Legend and Corey and those guys. How do you feel about those guys coming in and looking to earn more time than they did last year? Well, Raheem being a freshman, but the other guys already being there.
Well, it's a big plus because, say if when Malik graduates and I graduate, Stav graduates, that's our next generation. They'll be here to win another championship.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on, JT. Hopefully we'll be able to see you again during the season, and just watch your growth and working out and getting better and earning some of that playing time. And appreciate it. All right.
Yeah.